Hey everyone, I'm Jeff Howe alongside Karen Garrigian. We're here at Gillette Stadium where the field crews are actually behind us getting themselves ready for this playoff opener for the Patriots against the Colts on Saturday. But before we get to that, let's discuss the three biggest storylines of the week. And despite coming off the bye, it was a fairly busy week around here. Number one, Josh McDaniels has decided to withdraw his name from consideration from the Browns head coaching job. He will remain as the Patriots offensive coordinator, at least through the end of the postseason and going into next season. Probably a good thing for the Patriots and McDaniels.
Yeah, he did take an interview with them on Saturday. He met with them, but 4 or 5 days later decided no, that even if they offered him the job, he wasn't going to take it. He withdrew his name from consideration. And you know, it was a smart thing to do, given the instability with the ownership. I mean, they can't coach after 1 year. Given they don't have a legitimate quarterback there, and it's always a kind of a crapshoot when you're picking in the draft. He needs to go someplace where he's going to succeed. He's already had a failed attempt in Denver. He needs his next job, head coaching situation, to be a success, and he can't take a chance. It was too risky in Cleveland. Smart move by Josh.
Exactly, and as you mentioned, the structure, the ownership to the quarterback, and the difficulty of that division. No matter who takes that job, it's going to be difficult to get even more than 5 wins next season. You have an owner who has proven he will can you after 1 season, so it can't be an appealing job, and you can understand why McDaniels decided to back out. Number 2, the hits keep on coming for the Patriots. They've lost Brandon Spikes to injured reserve. That knee was just too much for him to bear going into the playoffs here. It's got to just really destroy him, devastate him mentally. He cares about winning so much. He despises missing time due to injuries, so the fact that he went down the week of the playoff opener just has to rip him apart. He really gutted it out. He gave him everything they had, but I think it just was the best decision for everybody involved to shut him down.
Well, you could see the last few games that, you know, he gave it his best effort, but, you know, he could barely move on that knee, and he was hobbled by it. He couldn't make any moves in coverage at all, and, you know, he was barely hitting the hole with the same kind of thrust and force that we know Brandon Spikes to have. You know, it's tough. He's one of their emotional leaders on defense. He really gets them going. And again, one more huge, significant loss on that defense. But you know what? They just keep moving on.
Yeah, it's impressive. And the one thing that they won't be able to replace, as you mentioned, that fire, the passion, the tenacity. Dante Hightower said when they were in the huddle and they needed a play, Spikes was the guy who they looked at to make that play. And from an X's and O's standpoint, we'll see what they do. I mean, Dane Fletcher and Jamie Collins are the obvious choices to step up, get more reps. In the 4-3, Dane Fletcher would replace Spikes inside there with Collins and Hightower flanking him. In the nickel, depending on the situation, you're going to get a combination of those 3 guys filling those 2 spots. So the beat goes on with this team. You mentioned the Colts. It's a good transition to point number 3 because the playoffs finally open for the Patriots, coming off a bye against a Colts team, and Andrew Luck, who were the darlings of Wild Card Weekend with that 28-point comeback out in Indianapolis. I was there. I was really impressed. I mean, just really going out on a limb there. But it was an impressive group of players, especially in the locker room after. They reminded me a lot of the Patriots with their self-confidence, their maturity, their expectation to win despite facing adversity. I think you're going to get similar opponents on this field on Saturday night.
Yeah, they are mindful of the Patriots in their ability to come back in games, basically being undaunted by any score and led by a young quarterback who, I mean, people say, yeah, Peyton Manning, and he does have a lot of Peyton Manning qualities, but for my money, he reminds me a lot of a young Tom Brady, and how the team just rallies around him, and they have a belief in him that he can lead them no matter what the score is, what the time of the game is. He's just a fun guy to watch.
And it should be a fun game to watch. I mean, again, 2 terrific quarterbacks, one a certain Hall of Famer, another one who very prematurely everybody's expecting to follow him in 15, 20, 25 years, whatever it happens to be. But it should be a classic on Saturday night, 2 high-scoring teams. We're all looking forward to it, and to follow our work leading up to that game and going all the way through it, you can find it on bostonherald.com and the Blitz blog.